Every year around this time, people choose a word for the year. Sometimes the word may be aspirational or reactive. Sometimes it's just a quiet hope that the year ahead will be gentler than the one we just left behind. But when it's done, choosing one word isn't decoration and it's not orientation. My word for the year is sovereign. I want to be clear what I mean by that, because sovereignty is not a vibe. It's not a vibe word for me, and it's not a slogan. For me, sovereignty is a governing principle. Sovereignty is self-rule. It is the ability to reign over yourself without outsourcing authority to other people, to circumstances, to happenstance, to fear or feeling. And if you're in a season of reinvention, which so many people are at the start of the new year, sovereignty might be the most important thing that you can reclaim. We're all living in a moment saturated with emotional noise. Outrage is amplified, urgency is manufactured, drama is constantly shoved outward and rewarded. I call it shove drama. Everyone is shoving drama, emotion, opinion, identity, reaction out into the public square. And in the middle of all that, a lot of capable, caring women are just exhausted. And it's not because they're weak. They're not exhausted because they're weak. They're exhausted because they're overexposed to other people's emotional bad weather. Sovereignty to me is the antidote to that exhaustion. It's the quiet decision to rule yourself anyway. Choosing one word for the year isn't about simplifying your life. It's about governing your life. That single word should be your filter for everything coming at you for the year. When something shows up, you ask, does this move me closer to my word or farther from it? Does this reinforce who I'm becoming or who I've outgrown? A good word doesn't comfort you. It challenges you to live more honestly. Now, sovereignty is not independence for independence sake. It's not isolation, and it's not emotional suppression. To me, a sovereign woman is someone who needs no one. She's someone who does not give herself away. She can collaborate without disappearing. She can love without surrendering authorship. She can change without destabilizing. And critically, she can support herself. Because a woman who cannot feed herself is always negotiating from a weakened position, no matter how capable she is in other areas of her life. Sovereignty requires that footing. Sovereignty requires the footing that she not negotiate from weakness. Here's the question that anchored this word for me. What do I believe enough to disappoint someone else over? Not annoy someone, not inconvenience, disappoint. Because disappointment is where approval is withdrawn. Approval is where women quietly give away their power. We smooth things over. We soften our positions. We compromise ourselves to keep the peace. Not because we don't know better, but because we've been trained to prioritize harmony over alignment with ourselves. Sovereignty asks something different of us. It asks whether you are willing to remain true to yourself when someone else is unhappy about it. There was a point where I realized many of my decisions were shaped by what would keep things smooth. Not because I lacked clarity, not because I was afraid, but because I had become very good at absorbing the discomfort so other systems could keep running. I had to confront this truth that if I keep choosing to keep everyone else comfortable, I will eventually lose myself. The belief that I had to reclaim was very simple. The belief is, I do not stay in systems that require me to mute my judgment or carry more than my share, in order to keep someone else functioning. Living by that belief has disappointed people, but it also stopped disappointing me, and that is sovereignty. If I had to distill this word into something repeatable, something livable, it would be this mantra. Sovereignty means I am self-fed, self-led, and self-determined. Self-fed so that survival does not silence me. Self-led so that I don't poll others for permission to live my life. And self-determined so that I choose direction instead of inheriting momentum. When I say self-fed, I don't mean hustling or doing everything alone. I mean financially grounded enough that fear doesn't run my decisions. Sovereignty requires footing. And this is where the quality of being unbothered comes in. Unbothered is not apathy. It's not disengagement. Unbothered is the quality of emotional sovereignty in real time. It's the refusal to let chaos hijack your nervous system. It's the ability to let other people have their reactions without making them your responsibility. If everything provokes you, nothing belongs to you. So being unbothered is how a sovereign woman wears the crown when the world is loud. People ask all the time how to know if they're being too soft on themselves or too hard. Here's the sovereign answer. If your softness is shrinking your life, it is not compassion. If your discipline is crushing your spirit, it is not leadership. Sovereign is in the middle. It's the ability to say, this behavior does not match who I am, fix it. And also, this pleasure is unsustainable, adjust it. Same voice, same authority. If you're choosing a word for the year, don't pick what sounds good. Pick what tells you the truth. Ask yourself, where do I keep giving my power away? And what quality would stabilize me under pressure? What word would govern my decisions if I actually lived by it? Your word should challenge you, not comfort you. Sovereignty is not dramatic. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't require approval. It shows up quietly. In decisions, you stop reopening. In boundaries, you stop explaining. In the refusal to abandon yourself to keep things easy for everybody else. That's why my word this year is sovereign, because sovereign means I am self-fed, self-led, and self-determined. And that is the standard I'm living by this year. Share with me your word of the year.